What if I told you that the world you think you see, hear, and experience isn't the real world at all? That everything you perceive is a mental projection, shaped by past experiences, subconscious expectations, and conditioned beliefs? Recently, my son and I did a blind chocolate taste test, and I was completely shocked by what happened. I thought I knew my favorite chocolate brands. I thought I could easily tell them apart. But when my vision was taken away, when I had to rely solely on taste, I realized that I couldn't tell the difference. The chocolates, which I had previously believed tasted so different, suddenly all seemed the same. And yet, my teenage son could tell them apart much better than I could. That moment made me question. How much of reality is just my brain filling in the blanks? How much of my life experience is based on what I expect rather than what's actually there? And the more I explored this, the more I realized that this is exactly how we create reality, how manifestation works, and why so many people struggle to shift. Today, we're going deep into how your brain shapes what you experience, why you might be missing reality as it truly is, and how to rewire your mind to manifest clearly and effortlessly. Step 1. Your brain doesn't see reality, it predicts it. Most people assume that we see, hear, and taste the world exactly as it is. But neuroscience proves that isn't true at all. Your brain is not a passive observer, it is an active creator. Instead of processing raw sensory data, your brain predicts what something should feel like, sound like, or taste like based on past experiences and subconscious patterns. Studies show that up to 90% of what we perceive is just our brain filling in the gaps, rather than direct sensory input. This means that what we expect to happen actually shapes what we experience. In my chocolate test, I was expecting to taste differences, but when I removed the visual and brand cues, my brain could no longer preload the experience. This is exactly how we create our entire reality. If we expect life to be hard, our brain filters out ease. If we expect scarcity, we only see lack. If we expect love to be painful, we keep finding proof of that belief. Your brain is not showing you an objective reality. It is showing you what you believe to be true. Step 2. The placebo effect and how beliefs become reality. One of the most fascinating aspects of neuroscience is the placebo effect, where people experience real physical and emotional effects just because they believe something is true. Patients given sugar pills, but told they are powerful drugs, experience real healing. People drinking what they think is expensive wine enjoy it more, even if it's actually cheap. Athletes perform better when they believe they've taken performance-enhancing substances, even if they haven't. What's happening here? Their belief alone is altering their physiology. In my chocolate test, my brain had been manufacturing taste differences based purely on branding and past expectation. If that's true for chocolate, medicine, and physical performance, what does that mean for how we experience money, success, love, and manifestation? What if the only reason you haven't stepped into abundance yet is because you don't expect it to be there? Step 3. Why my son perceived more clearly than I did. The biggest surprise in my chocolate test was that my teenage son did much better than I did. He could identify textures, flavors, and differences more clearly than I could. Why? Because he is less conditioned by expectation. Younger people have fewer subconscious filters shaping their perception. They experience reality more directly instead of relying on past assumptions. They aren't as biased by branding, marketing, or social conditioning. As adults, we have spent decades reinforcing patterns of belief. If we believe money is hard to earn, relationships are difficult, success takes struggle, then we filter out anything that contradicts those beliefs, even if opportunities are right in front of us. The question is, how do we retrain our brain to see clearly again? Step 4. Breaking the perception loop and seeing reality as it is. If your brain is always filtering reality through subconscious beliefs, then how do you shift into a new experience? The key is to disrupt the automatic loop and create new expectations. Here's how. 1. Question every assumption. Ask yourself, what do I assume to be true about my life? Where do I expect things to be difficult? Where am I only seeing what I've been conditioned to believe? 2. Remove the labels. Just like removing the brand names in my chocolate test changed how I experienced taste, removing labels from your reality changes how you experience life. Instead of saying making money is hard, try removing that assumption and experiencing life as if that were never true. 3. Shift into a new expectation. Instead of waiting for proof, start acting as if abundance is already present. Instead of saying, I hope this works, say, this is already unfolding perfectly. Instead of seeing obstacles, look for evidence of ease. Reality is always showing you what you believe to be true. So change the belief, and the experience will follow. Is your brain hiding infinite possibilities? The blind chocolate test was just one example of how our minds construct our experiences, but this applies to every part of life. Right now, your reality is reflecting your subconscious expectations. If you expect struggle, you will find struggle. If you expect abundance, you will start noticing opportunities everywhere. If you expect miracles, you will begin to experience synchronicities that seem impossible. So the real question is, what assumptions are shaping your life right now? And what happens when you decide to rewrite them? The moment you change your expectation, the quantum field rearranges itself to match. Reality isn't something you passively experience. It is something you are actively creating. Your highest timeline is already broadcasting. Will you tune in? Shift your frequency. Shift your reality. With Quantum Vibes,